Long before tales of Atlantis captivated our imaginations, there existed an ancient sacred land known as Lamria. Some referred to it as Mu, while others invoked its name during deep meditations or dream journeys. Regardless of how one encounters it, Lamria resonates with a frequency that touches the soul's depths. Envision a civilization not founded on conquest or dominance, but on harmony, intuition, love, and spiritual insight. A society where humans lived in profound connection with nature, each other, and the divine. Their technology wasn't mechanical, but based on frequencies, sounds, energies, and pure intentions. Lamria isn't merely a legend or a forgotten continent. It's a spiritual memory embedded within many of us, a call that some feel without understanding why. Have you ever gazed upon the ocean and felt an inexplicable sense of home? Or heard your heart's whisper guiding you toward something indescribable? If so, this exploration is for you. Today, we delve deep into Lamria's full narrative, its origins, its disappearance, and its significance for spiritual seekers in our current era. This isn't just a history lesson, it's an awakening of the soul. Stay with me until the end. You might recall something your soul has always known. Lamria, a civilization beyond time. Lamria stands as one of the most enigmatic and captivating lost civilizations ever spoken of. Its story has been transmitted through spiritual teachings, esoteric knowledge, and ancient whispers that transcend both time and geography. Many believe Lamria predates Atlantis, stretching across the Pacific Ocean and connecting regions we now identify as Asia, Australia, South America, and even Africa. The term Lamria emerged in the 19th century when scientists sought to explain the presence of similar species, like lemurs, on distant continents. They theorized a submerged landmass once linked these areas, facilitating species migration. Although mainstream science eventually dismissed this theory, a deeper essence persisted. Spiritualists and mystics began to speak of Lamria not as a mere scientific hypothesis, but as a real place that once housed an enlightened and peaceful civilization. For those on a spiritual path, Lamria represents more than a lost continent. It symbolizes divine connection, a time when humanity lived in perfect harmony with earth and spirit. It's believed to have been a paradise where people were gentle, intuitive, and deeply loving, living not through ego or separation, but through unity and awareness. Communication transcended words, relying instead on telepathy, energy, and emotion. Their technology was vibrational, not physical. Lamrians are said to have lived in harmony with nature, communicating with plants, animals, and even the elements. Their society centered on spiritual growth, compassion, and collective consciousness. Every soul had a purpose, and every being lived in alignment with that purpose. Many believe Lamria was the birthplace of spiritual knowledge on Earth, the origin of numerous healing modalities, the source of crystal wisdom, sound healing, and energy work that continues to be rediscovered today. It's said that when Lamria fell, its knowledge was hidden deep within the earth, within crystals, sacred sites, and most profoundly, within the DNA of those who once lived there. Thus, when we inquire about Lamria, we're not merely discussing a physical location. We're referring to a forgotten chapter of human consciousness, a memory that continues to echo in the hearts of those who feel the call to awaken, to return to that state of peace, love, and divine connection. Now, as the Earth undergoes another shift, many believe it's time to remember Lamria, not as a myth but as a path back to our true essence. Lamria, a way of being discussing. Lamria isn't solely about an ancient civilization submerged beneath the ocean. It's about a way of being, a level of consciousness and a spiritual vibration that many believe humanity is gradually returning to today. Lamria's significance lies not just in its past, but in its presence within us at this very moment. Lamria embodies the divine feminine energy, the nurturing force of unconditional love, emotional intelligence, and inner knowing. It was a civilization that revered intuition as the highest form of wisdom, where every individual was deeply connected to the earth, the stars, and each other through the heart. Unlike Atlantis, which symbolized the masculine, intellectual, and technological path, Lamria flowed with emotion, harmony, and spiritual depth. It wasn't focused on conquest or empire building, but on soul evolution, expanding compassion and living in alignment with the universe's natural rhythms. The people of Lamria are said to have lived in a state of pure awareness, with their third eye open, hearts wide and spirits unburdened by ego or fear. They practiced telepathy, communicated through light and sound frequencies, and healed not with medicine but with energy and intention. They saw each other as divine reflections of the Source. This is why Lamria's story resonates so profoundly with spiritual seekers. It mirrors the kind of life many of us yearn to return to, a life of peace, balance, trust in the unseen, and unity with all that exists. We're not just remembering Lamria as a place. We're recalling it as a frequency that resides within our souls. Many believe those drawn to Lamria today are starseeds or soul fragments from that era, returning in this lifetime to help elevate the planet's vibration, anchoring love, healing, and divine wisdom. Perhaps you've always felt different, sensitive to energy, deeply connected to the ocean or the stars. Maybe you've dreamt of floating cities, underwater temples, or ancient beings calling your name. These aren't mere coincidences. They're echoes and signs that your soul remembers. The more you open yourself to this energy, the more your spiritual gifts awaken. Lamria beckons us not to escape reality, but to infuse higher consciousness into it, to live with compassion, lead with the heart, and heal not just ourselves but the collective. Lamria's spiritual significance lies in its ability to activate something deep within us, reminding us that we're not separate, that we're sacred, and that we carry ancient wisdom codes within our very being. As the world transitions into a new era of awakening, Lamria is no longer just a memory. It becomes a guiding light leading us back to our true selves. Lamria's story begins when the Earth was still young, its energy softer, more fluid, and more aligned with higher dimensions. It's said that the Lamrians were among the first advanced beings to inhabit this realm, choosing Earth as a place to anchor light, spread love, and explore the beauty of physical existence while remaining deeply connected to the divine. These beings hailed from the stars, from places like the Pleiades, Sirius, and other high-frequency systems. They chose Lamria as their home, not to dominate or control, but to create a paradise, a peaceful civilization built on compassion, spiritual growth, and harmony with nature. Their rise wasn't about conquest, but consciousness. They lived in unity, understanding that all life is sacred and interconnected through the universe's energy web. Lamrian society evolved slowly and gently. Their cities weren't constructed from stone and steel, but from crystal, light, and organic forms, blending seamlessly into the landscapes, rising like songs from the earth. They lived in deep communion with the oceans, mountains, and skies, and many believe they could shift between dimensions, traveling through light portals and connecting with beings from other realms effortlessly. During this golden age, there was no war, competition, or hierarchy. Instead, there was a collective focus on healing, wisdom, and soul evolution. Lamrians lived in tribes and soul groups, each with unique roles and spiritual purposes. Some were healers, others teachers. Some worked with sound, others with crystals, all guided by intuition and love. However, like all things in this realm of duality, even the purest paradise faced change. Over time, Earth's energy began to shift. Lower vibrations emerged, and a new consciousness took hold in parts of the world. Atlantis began to rise during this period, focusing on technology and logic while Lamria remained heart-centered and spiritual. This imbalance created tension between the two. Lamria's fall wasn't abrupt but gradual, like a slow wave pulling at the island's edges. Some accounts speak of massive earth changes, volcanic eruptions, tectonic shifts, and great floods swallowing the land. Others believe the fall was a conscious decision, that the Lamrians knew their time was ending and chose to return to the inner earth, other star systems, or spiritual realms.